Is it my turn?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want you to feel free to interject at any given moment here.
I got you.
All right. I'm usually not the brightest or sharpest in the room. Mm-hmm. I've come up around some very sharp-minded young people, man, who they got it. They could crack atoms. Mm-hmm. I'm usually the most practical, though. I'm usually the one who can see and sear through all of the intricacies of things and tell you what's really going on in a very practical way. Mm-hmm. Right? My elder said I have the gift of making things that are very complex, very simple. So I'm going to walk you down a very simple path on what I feel this is really all about.
Go ahead.
All right? Now, let's start from the beginning of this. How did someone with no political experience, no experience governing parties, no experience become the president of the free world? Let's start there. How the F did Donald Trump, with zero experience, right, become the leader of the free world, the most powerful nation, military, finances, technology in the world? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to ask you out there in the chat, if you owned a Fortune 500 company, would you let somebody with zero experience of running a Fortune 500 company become the CEO of your company? And the obvious answer would be no.
Right. So
now we have to begin to say, well, how did he get there? That means something else is going on for them to take. Right now, I want to speak to those who understand that America is a corporation, and you can say, well, Trump has experience running corporations, but he has failed at most of them. So at worst, you put in somebody who has failed to run corporations in the most important seat in the world.
Right.
And what did you expect to happen when that happened? That's like putting me in the head of Apple. Mm-hmm. And I'm going, y'all niggas better get these phones going, but I know nothing about what do you think is going to happen.
Right.
That's part number one.
Okay.
Right? So I want you to, I'm painting this picture. I want you to keep that in your mind. Somebody, this helps you understand this is not an election, this is a selection, or the illusion that you selected a dummy. Because at the end of the day, you put him there. All of you people who are now complaining, put him there. Right? Now you're telling me that the solution to our problems is a 77-year-old, senile, mumbling, bumbling, fumbling, pervert at best, pedophile at worst. Let's just keep it a bean. I know y'all all seen the tapes of Biden smooching and smelling these little. If that was your uncle, he would not be invited to Thanksgiving dinner. Right? Point blank, you would tell your children, stay away from Uncle so-and-so, whatever you do. So you mean to tell me that the most powerful country in the world couldn't find an intelligent, young, vibrant, Anglo-Saxon, man with, leadership skills, with the square jaw, as we talk about putting a clean glass next to a dirty glass, and he would win hands down.
Right.
So this country has no intelligent white men, black men, anybody who could take out a dude with no experience. But they have given you a 77-year-old man who will not survive the first term in office. And you guys think that you really have a choice of what's going on? This is all theater for you. This is all an act. All of it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to say this to all of the family members who have lost other family members or friends arguing over which 77-year-old white man is going to free you. You should be embarrassed. You should call your friend right now and tell them that you are sorry, that you allow a wedge to come between your friendship or family or this and that because you chose a white man with no experience, which is a reality star, and I chose a 77-year-old dead walking white man to bring freedom to black people in this country. Y'all should all be embarrassed, all of y'all. And it's embarrassing me to even watch it happen. I refuse to get on social media and argue with any of my brothers and sisters about either one of these white men, because that's what it is, right? In terms of which one is going to give us more. That means that we are still slaves. That means that we are still waiting for something to trickle down in our hands that's going to be given to us. This victim consciousness is all I speak about on this show, right? To all of the rappers who have made albums and songs and t-shirts, right? Telling me that 45 is the worst president ever. You are an embarrassment to hip hop. I'm going to say it again. Each and every, I don't care if you was iconic from the fucking 80s, that stands on their platform and tells you, because it insinuates that before 45 was the president, that life for black people in this country, because this is what it insinuates, was great. And then all of a sudden, we had a hiccup called 45, and then life went tumbling down. And now life will be restored when a 77-year-old senile man, white man, who has proven that he hates black people, with his policy, he ain't got to say it, his action, shit, he helped write into law.
Even him talking to Senate.
I've seen all the tapes. He stays on code. If you're telling me, and his partner, Kamala Harris, has put more black people in the Oakland area in jail than anyone else, and she is proud of it. She withheld, and these are all facts, information that could have freed a black man from off death row until after he died because she wanted to keep her record intact. Pop quiz real quick. Who has put more people in jail? Trump and Pence or Biden and Kamala Harris? Pop quiz. Okay, back to what I was saying. So, if you have got on your platform and you're supposed to be an activist, which means you're not supposed to be with any of these candidates because you are supposed to be wise enough. And this is what I know about so-called activists and raptivists. Most of them are not too bright. I've had deep conversations, well, deep on my part, and realized that most of them are very slow, right? But they can put a few rhymes together to make it seem that they're activists.
Because they never read.
Because they never read. You have done a disservice to what real hip-hop is. For you to suggest in any way, shape, form, or fashion that our problems began and end with 45 as the president. Now, with that being said, when you make a statement like that, let me get this off, and then I'm good.
Gotcha.
When you say Trump is the problem, that's almost like saying drug dealers in our neighborhood are killing the community. Well, yeah, they are. But that's low-hanging fruit. They ain't built the guns. They didn't bring none of the high-powered drugs in here. It's impossible. In order to run a drug operation that moves millions and millions of drugs, you know how many people have to be complicit? Lawyers, judges, cops, dirty cops, and they all move with impunity. And the only one we target is the one that we see, which is the drug dealer. Right? So, yeah, you could say that. Or like saying these rappers, if they didn't rhyme about disrespecting women and all of this, we'd be in a better position. Yeah. Well, yeah. But no. right? The record labels determine what's being said. They could easily say, no, we ain't signing none of that. And these same rappers will get creative and find something else to say. But they know that that's important because we need to build prisons and we need to create a lifestyle so we can move the guns, we can move the drugs, we can sex traffic, and we can do all the things that continue to move, but you can blame the rapper. So when you blame Donald Trump, it's low hanging fruit, it's low vibration nigger business. And for you not to be able to go above that and talk about the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Fords, the central banking system, corrupt on so many levels, racism, white supremacy as a system. Nobody's talking about that. We have focused our energy on an individual. That is called mind control 101. That's not even extensive mind control. Somebody asked in the chat the other day, it always seemed like, even though y'all say y'all don't vote, that, y'all caping really for Trump. No, let me tell you what's really going on. I hate being force-fed anything.
I agree.
I hate being forced. And if you just use some common sense, you cannot tell me Biden is not being force-fed down our throats. That's like you come into my house and I keep trying to force a glass of orange juice on you. Like, yo, drink this, drink this.
It's got green foam at the top.
And you're like, what the, whoa. And for you guys not to see that, it's an embarrassment. It's really, really an embarrassment. For now, we're sitting at the edge of life, waiting for these numbers to come in to determine our future.
Right.
We are slaves.